Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the show that takes source material, sometimes really simple stuff, and we dig in to find the knowledge you actually need. And today, our source is, well, it seems incredibly basic on the surface. It's an excerpt from an easy English lesson.
Right, the kind designed to teach vocabulary using everyday situations.
Exactly. This one features a character, Sara, and it's all about her very first time taking a flight. So our mission isn't just, vocabulary drills. We're looking at this little story, this travel microdrama, and asking what it tells us about, well, the real experience.
The sociology of it almost. What are the hidden lessons about anxiety, rules, communication, all baked into this simple script?
Precisely. Okay, let's unpack this. It starts right away setting a mood. Sara's at the airport. She feels a little nervous, and yep, it explicitly says first flight.
Instant vulnerability. It immediately frames the airport not just as a place, but as a high-stakes system you're entering for the first time.
And the source material, even though it's for language learning, it taps into something real, doesn't it? That overwhelming feeling.
Oh, absolutely. Airports are built for flow, for efficiency, maybe not so much for human comfort, especially if you're new to it. It can feel like this huge, confusing machine.
Yeah, like a bureaucracy that speaks its own language, even if it's technically English.
Exactly. And look at the first thing Sara does. According to the script, it's quite revealing.
Right. She checks her passport and ticket again and again. It's almost comical, but we all do versions of that, don't we? Even with apps and digital boarding passes.
We do. And your question earlier was great. Is it just panic, or is the system itself teaching us this?
So what do you think?
Well, I think it's both. It's definitely a ritual. The system demands these checks at various points, right? Security, gate, boarding.
True, you have to present them over and over.
But for the anxious mind, especially a first-timer like Sara, it becomes something more. It's a coping mechanism.
How so?
Think about it. In that huge, noisy space, you feel like you have almost zero control. The signs tell you where to go. The security lines dictate your pace.
You're just swept along.
Right. But your passport, your ticket, those are yours. They prove who you are and that you have a right, sort of, to be there. Checking them constantly is like touching base.
Like a little anchor in the chaos.
Exactly. It's a way to reduce the mental load. You're confirming, okay, chaos everywhere else, but this part, I am me, I have the permission slip. It's a small act of control.
That makes a lot of sense. So she gets past that initial, do I have my papers, anxiety.
Momentarily, yes.
And immediately the focus shifts. The script gives us her internal thought, where is my gate?
And boom. That's the next big hurdle, isn't it? Identity confirmed. Now it's about location, certainty.
Once you're through the main checks, the airport kind of splinters. Suddenly there are dozens of paths.
That fragmentation is where the real navigational anxiety kicks in. The fear isn't just being confused. It's the consequence missing the flight. That's the ultimate failure in this system.
And interestingly, the script doesn't have Sara whip out her phone or stare harder at a screen to solve this.
No, it doesn't. The solution comes from another person. A kind man.
Which suggests something about human interaction, maybe, especially when you're stressed.
I think it does. It models a very quick, very efficient social transaction. Look how it goes. He starts with empathy. Are you okay?
Basic kindness.
But then, notice how fast it moves to the necessary data. He doesn't linger on the feelings. He asks, what's your gate number?
Straight to the point, because that's what actually matters in that moment.
Right. In that environment, there's only a tiny window for, let's say, soft skills. The system demands the key information. Logistics trump feelings for a moment.
And once Sara gives that piece of data, gate B12, suddenly the problem has a potential solution.
Exactly. It confirms that in these high-pressure systems, knowing that single crucial piece of information is everything. It's the key that unlocks the next step.
It's fascinating how this simple English lesson actually distills the core airport protocol.
It really does. And those 5 practice phrases they include, we should probably look at those more closely. They're not just random sentences.
Okay, yeah. Let's treat them like the essential toolkit. What are they again?
Well, the first one we've already hit on. Where is my gate?
Right. Pure navigation, finding your place in the system.
Then you've got the interaction at a checkpoint. Can I see your passport, please?
The official request? Or command, maybe?
It functions more like a command, doesn't it? It's polite, but it's not optional. It highlights the power dynamic.
Yeah, you don't argue, you just comply. Hand it over.
Exactly. It's the system asserting its authority, and the expected response leads to the third phrase.
Which is, here is my ticket.
Right. So passport for identity, ticket for What? Proof of purchase. Right to be there.
Yeah, proof of the transaction. It says, I'm not just a person, I'm a paying customer who belongs on this specific flight. It validates your presence economically.
Good point. Identity and transaction confirmed.
Yeah.
Okay, so phrase number 4 happens later, probably on the plane itself.
This is my seat. Finding your little spot.
And think about how important that is. After navigating the massive airport, the security, the gate, it all comes down to finding this tiny designated territory.
Your 3 feet of personal space for the next few hours.
Claiming that seat is like the final confirmation. I made it. I'm in the right place. It's the final localized placement, you could say.
The moment you can finally maybe relax a tiny bit. Just before the safety briefing, yeah.
Which leads perfectly into the last phrase, the one that wraps up Sarah's emotional journey in the script.
I'm ready for my flight.
Yes. And that's not just logistical readiness, is it? It's psychological.
How do you mean?
Well, saying I'm ready implies acceptance.
Yeah.
You've navigated the system, you've found your spot, you've maybe processed some of that anxiety. You're acknowledging, okay, I'm giving up control now to the plane, to the crew.
Right. It's the mental green light. Proceed.
Precisely. It's the emotional and logistical resolution. The 5 phrases basically map the entire journey from uncertainty to acceptance.
It's quite elegant, actually, reducing this complex thing down to 5 key exchanges.
It really is. But then the story adds another layer, doesn't it? After the logistics are sorted with a gate number.
Right. The kind man. He doesn't just point the way. He says, come with me. I'm going to the same date.
That offer of companionship, that's huge.
It shifts from just information to support.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's the social lubricant. It acknowledges the shared experience. You're not just 2 individuals following signs. You're now briefly a team navigating together.
And the script even tells us what they talk about as they walk.
Yes, travel and food, which seems almost trivially small talk, but maybe it's not.
Why those 2 topics? You mentioned it earlier. Are they just safe, neutral?
They are safe, which is important. No complex debates needed, but I think it's deeper, like you suggested.
Okay.
Think about what connects almost all humans. Movement, that's travel. We're all going somewhere or have been somewhere or dream of going somewhere. It establishes instant common ground. You're both travelers in that moment.
Okay, I see that. And food.
Sustenance, another universal. But also, it's sensory. It's usually pleasant to talk about. It involves memory and simple descriptions.
Right. Easy vocabulary, maybe, especially if you're learning English, like the point of the original lesson.
Exactly. If your brain is already overloaded with the stress of navigating, you can't handle complex conversation. Travel and food allow for simple, low-stakes language practice. Did you visit Rome? Oh, the pizza was amazing. It's manageable.
So the small talk isn't just filler. It's actually functional.
It's functional and therapeutic. It engages Sarah's brain in something non-threatening, non-logistical. It takes her mind off the anxiety loop for a bit. It builds a tiny human connection.
And the result is clear in the script. She gets to the gate.
And the transformation is complete. She thinks, this is not so scary after all. She feels happy and calm now.
The fear has diffused.
Because of 2 things, really. Successful navigation, finding the gate, and that small dose of human connection and shared experience. Familiarity, even temporary, combats fear.
It really drives home the lesson, both the language one and the sort of life one.
And the meta lesson too, right? The source itself tells the learner to listen again to learn faster. It underlines that repetition, simplicity, linking language to a real, relatable situation. That's how you make things stick, especially under pressure.
Okay, so if we recap this deep dive, we took a very simple language lesson about a first-time flyer.
Sara at the airport.
Right. And we found it actually reveals a lot about navigating any high-stress system. You need to, 1, lock down your key data points, passport, ticket, gate number in this case.
You can't proceed without those.
2, you need a minimal, effective communication protocol. Those 5 core phrases are basically it. Simple, direct language for essential functions.
Get the job done language.
And 3, maybe the overlooked part, finding those small human connections, even just brief small talk, can genuinely reduce the stress and make the whole thing manageable.
Absolutely. So what does it all really mean? I think the biggest takeaway is the power of that simplicity. The script works because it's simple.
It doesn't try to explain the whole airport system.
No. It boils down a massively complex Operation International Air Travel into a handful of repeatable steps and phrases. It tells us that mastery often isn't about knowing everything. It's about knowing the few things that matter most and being able to execute them cleanly, especially when you're anxious or overwhelmed.
Keep it simple, basically.
Keep it simple. Focus on the essentials. Applied knowledge is powerful, especially when it's distilled like that.
So since Sarah ends up feeling ready for my flight, feeling calm and prepared, it makes you wonder, doesn't it?
What are you thinking?
Well, here's a final thought for you, our listener, to chew on. We just saw how navigating something as daunting as a first flight essentially boiled down to mastering 5 phrases and finding one helpful person.
The core essentials.
So think about other big challenges in life that feel overwhelming. Could they, too, be made less scary, more navigable, if we stopped trying to understand the whole massive system and instead focused on identifying and mastering their 5 key phrases, their non-negotiable communication points?